And we can get it. All right, here we go. Welcome to Wow TV and our part 2 of 3 in our Build Your Business with Purpose, Passion, and Profit. And this 3P formula, as some of you know, I started this a little while ago and have been sharing it about any time that you decide to do anything in your business, how important it is to ask that 3P question to yourself before you make an actual decision to proceed. Number one, is this on purpose? Is it on purpose with who I am and what I stand for? Is it in alignment with my purpose of my business? And then you get a resounding yes. So now you say, am I passionate about it? Because even if it's a great idea, but you're feeling like it's sucking the soul out of you, then that's not such a great idea. Hello, Kathy. And then third and equally important, is this going to be profitable? Does it have the potential to be profitable, if not immediately? And because as much as we want to make a difference and do great things for the rest of the world, if we don't make money, how can we keep doing what we're doing to make a difference in the world? So purpose, passion, and profit, very, very important. And if you get a yes to all three, full speed ahead, go for it. So I'm super excited to join. Yeah, oh, I like that. Hooray. That's the online clap when you're on mute. Okay. So I'm so excited to welcome Adera. And this woman I have known for many, many years. She is the queen of marketing. She has so much content, and the queen of video, of course, as those of you who know her. She does spectacular video. But before she started doing video, even if I have this correct, her background was in media and marketing. And so this woman has such a massive toolbox of marketing tips and content and strategy. And I want to just dive right in because we're all about content. I don't know about you guys, but you go to these online things and they spend the first 20 minutes talking about how amazing they are. And maybe if you hang in there long enough, you might get one little nugget towards the end. So we are all about content and just diving right in and getting this party started. If you want to do any comments in the chat, you're welcome to. If you want to say where you're from, feel free to participate in the meeting chat because we've muted you out. And for now, we will open you to question and answer later. But Adera, one of the things that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, I don't get to talk about how awesome I am for 20 minutes.
Besides, how awesome you are, and we all know how awesome you are. So all of these things that you've done in marketing over the years, what are a few things that people can do that, are cost effective and they're fairly easy, like they don't require a huge budget? What can people do to just start driving results from a marketing perspective?
What do you think I'm gonna say? Does anyone know? Okay, I don't want to step on Cheryl Bishop's toes, but it is networking face to face with people and building connections. All of what we're trying to do, whether we're online or offline, is really tune in to our purpose and that passion, and then come up with a product that we think others could really benefit from, and then try to make relations with the people that we really want to benefit, and not convince them, but show them that this is something that could really be of value in their life. And over my 20 plus years of being an entrepreneur and being in media and television and promotions and radio, the number one way from day one has always been the face-to-face, a shake of a hand or a hug or a hello with someone, and really understanding who they are, what they're into, what they like, getting to know them at a deep level, like Sherry Lee was saying that she's trying to create via Facebook, and then potentially having a partnership together in some capacity, whether that's selling your services to them or them to you, or collaborating on something like we do, Christine.
Exactly. I know. And I loved how Sherry Lee mentioned yesterday how important it is to not just, kind of puke what you're all about on people when you do go out and either meet them online or meet them in person at a networking meeting, however you're connecting with someone, how important it is to ask questions, to be authentic, and to ask questions, find out what's going on with them, to find out how you can be of service to them, rather than just doing the puke, this is what I'm all about. And so, and I know that you just do that naturally, but not everyone does. I mean, I felt almost assaulted at a lot of businesses that I've gone to that are, whoa, back off. And you just do it naturally. What do you have? I know, I don't know that we talked about this beforehand, but is there one question that you think is really important to ask another person when you do meet them online or at a networking meeting? What's something that, is just, it's a great icebreaker. It's something that opens the door to finding out more about what they're about and how you can be of service to them.
You think you know what I'm going to say there too? It's like my tagline. It's like, what lights you up? What excites you? What fires you in the morning? Why do you get out of bed? Like I usually say, lights you up. Like what excites you? What do you do for fun or for work? Or, I'm hoping what they do for work is also what they do for fun. And usually that opens a door for us to be able to connect, because I can hear their passion about whatever it is it's about, even if it is about finance, and I don't give two hoots about that. But I get very excited when I hear someone get excited about what they do, and I want to learn more. I want to know why they're interested in that. How did they get started? That kind of thing. And I was going to just mention here a little side note that the reason why I'm in video and video production is because if I can't meet someone face to face, the next best way to showcase who I am or grab eyeballs to my work is through video, because it has that authentic connection point, just like being in person does, versus a static photo of you or text, like something you've said. You can really get to know, like, and trust somebody just by all hearing me now. You either like me or you don't. You've kind of made that decision. Thank gosh you're all sticking around, and you feel me.
Yes.
Feel my energy.
And you've done a number of videos for me. If anyone hasn't been to my website, there's 2 or 3 videos that are posted on there. And Adera and her husband have done all of them, and they're just beautiful. My website is womanofworth.com. If you haven't been there, it's just, you do such a brilliant job. And the last one that you did for me, we launched at the Woman of Worth Awards, was my soul story, and which ties in with my business, but it's the why of what I do, and every time I watch it, I'm just like,
Me too.
it's so powerful. It's just beautiful. So what makes for some great marketing content, Adera, when you start focusing on, whatever it might be, whether it's a Facebook post, an email, a press release, whatever. What are some of the ingredients of some great marketing content?
Okay, I had to really think through this, because you're going to have a bunch of different businesses in different industries. So if you're in e-commerce, obviously your marketing strategy is going to be completely different. Or you're in the book business, that's going to be different than me being a massage therapist, or somebody that maybe owns a restaurant versus somebody that's a coach, right? So what I find really fascinating is we have all of these ways in which we can talk about ourselves and capture connections and relate with people, right? Like we've got LinkedIn and TikTok and don't get me going, right? Facebook, and there is this pressure to be in all places. And what happens as an entrepreneur is we get overwhelmed and overloaded, and we don't have any strategy, because it just feels like a bit of a shit show out there of what we're supposed to do and when we're supposed to do it. And I really want to encourage people to just sort of dial all that back in and really just take note of what that purpose is, and that passion, and that one product, right? And then think, okay, if I can commit to one thing, because it's really when we commit to one thing, and this is so hard to say to an ADDer, which is adventure, determination, and desire, thank you very much, is to really just hone in on one thing and just stick it out, stick it through. So Sherry Lee, she has committed to Facebook. I don't know how rock star she is on all the other platforms, because that's where she hangs, right? I see the best results when I do live events and meet people in person. So I have committed to doing that. And then of course I dabble on social, but you don't need to be in all places for all people, right? It's finding a path that feels good for you that you can show up in. And then I forgot what your question was, but it was around what could somebody do in their marketing to really sort of showcase who they are and who they're here to help. And I think the best way to do that, and I do say this in my, I will add my link to my opt-in if you're interested in being on my email list. I do events often that you're invited to, but the opt-in is Clear and Confident Marketing. And it's really taking you through just a simple 5-stepper of really getting clear on what you're doing, who you're doing it for, and then where those people are and where you want to be, right? And you want to hang out. And one of the other key pieces here is the content piece in regards to, you could maybe write this down, this is where I was going with this, is either sharing a client testimonial or a client experience. That's one post that you can constantly do every week. It's one client experience or a testimonial. The second is a day in the life of, so seeing a bit of your day, whether that's you getting coffee, whether that's you on the computer. Tell me a little bit about your day, of what you're up to. The third category would be a explaining maybe a little bit about the work and why it's important to you, or a little bit about why you're doing what you're doing, a little bit about your story. And if you just even hung out in those 3 areas 3 days a week, that's enough.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes total sense to me, because one of the things I'm noticing is this move finally to more authentic connections. People want to know who they're doing business with. They don't want to just know how freaking amazing you are in your business and all about your business. They want to know about you, especially women. Women will do business with other women that they're in a relationship with, or that they feel that they're in a relationship with. So if you are doing some posts or some shares or whatever of things that you're doing in your day-to-day, and you're just, being, your silly self, and you're not all polished and perfect, people actually like that. I know it seems counterintuitive in some ways to how things have been traditionally done in marketing, but I think we're tired of the glossy, perfect everything, and we want to see the real. We want to see the authentic. We want to have real connections, and that's who we want to do business with. So I love that you shared that as content is be real, be authentic. I know you and I did a retreat together years ago, and I remember one of the most important pieces I took away from that retreat is Isabel had asked the question. She said, so think about, what problem are you solving for someone, and stay focused on that. And just on that one thing, like you were just talking about, is, for those of us who love to have a lot of irons in the fire, it can be hard to stay focused on just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And her encouragement was, think about what you offer, focus on the one thing, one problem you can solve for somebody. And then once you have solved that problem for somebody, then ask yourself, what's their next problem? And how can I solve that for them? And that it is something that I am, passionate about, I'm on purpose, and it can be profitable. So to stay focused on those things, how incredibly important that is. So Adera, you and I and Cheryl Bishop and Sherry Lee Wojcik, we're all going to be at a retreat next month that we're inviting people to at the amazing Spirit Ridge Resort in Osoyoos, which fortunately did not burn down last week. It came kind of close. Really glad they're still there. So we're going to be at this 3-day retreat. And as I'm sitting here in amazed at just how much we can cover in such a short period of time, can you imagine how much is going to unfold in 3 days, being able to pick the brains of you and I and Cheryl Bishop and Sherry Lee Wojcik? I mean, we are going to expand so much on what we are providing here. And so if any of you are interested in joining us, we would love to have you. It's not all about business building. There's going to be fun stuff. There's going to be wine tasting and a pajama party and a dance party and all that fun stuff too, and yoga and meditation. It's very holistic. But we do have an early bird. We have a really big offer for those that want to sign up by August 15th. There's a significant discount. So if that tweaks your interest in any way to come and join us at this amazing retreat and just immerse yourself in this, it's awomanofworth.com/business building is the website. And I'll post about it on the page later. So Adera,
Yeah,
the
like
things that we've touched on so far in this talk, how are we going to be expanding on that at the retreat? What are we going to do to actually help people?
okay, well, we're gonna do it. That's the thing.
We're
Like
going to do it.
I'm gonna get
Yes,
my
not to
hands
talk about it.
I'm gonna get my hands all up in your business, and I'm going to help you be super clear and confident with your marketing, and then actually help you create all the materials you need. And I don't know if we're going to get them all done for the entire year while we're there, but we can definitely get a month or two's worth where you're feeling confident with like where we're going with this and how we're bringing this all to life. And then hopefully you've booked out, or you've gotten the goal that you've wanted with what we create together. And also Christine and I are offering a 6-week mastermind afterwards. So
Yes.
that's
It's
also
not just the retreat, there is follow-up, so that you don't just go and have this great retreat and then kind of start to fade afterwards, which happens too often. We're going to keep you engaged. We are going to build on this momentum, and we're going to keep going for 6 weeks after the retreat. And we'll be doing that online, and that we will support you in keeping all of your projects moving forward. So Adera will get all up in your business at the retreat, and then we will make sure that you stay to task and actually keep going, because the sky's the limit. We want to see you light up as much as possible.
absolutely. So video, photos, all of those pieces, make sure that you bring a little bit of lipstick, and let's do it. Let's get it done.
Yeah, I'm feeling really distracted. I don't know if any of you have ever had this issue where you think, surely if I just trim my own bangs, how wrong can that go? And yesterday I was really distracted on this video with Sherry Lee because my bangs were hanging down into my eyes. So I snipped them off before this call, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that was a bit of a mistake. Anyways.
Tomorrow it will be different. That's funny. Yeah, they should be like real short tomorrow. Yeah.
So Adera, before we open this to the last few minutes of question and answer, if any of you have questions that you want to put in the chat box, what would you say, either reiterating something you've already mentioned or adding another piece that people can take away right now, that, without spending a dime and without a massive effort, something they can take away related to marketing that they can put into practice now that will lead to results for growing and building their business?
Before I give my one amazing Tony Robbins, it happens right now. He never says that. He says it's always a process. It always takes time. You're always on a journey. So there is no pill that you can take that's just going to explode your business into an amazing plethora of, dollar bills coming at you. But I just wanted to just honor all of you for being in business. It's a hard freaking go. It is there's so much to think about. There's so many directions you can go. There's so many ways in which you can say what you do. And you're all usually by yourself in your head. And it is incredibly challenging most days, sometimes just to put on pants. So I want to just acknowledge you deeply, because I am in the same pants as you. And I love all these little sayings I'm coming up with at this. But the one thing you can do is, for me, what I find keeps me really focused. Like I loved what you were saying about we find this problem, but I don't know about you, but I can come up with lots of problems that people face, right? And it is kind of finding that one and then hitting them with another. So for my, first foundation problem is people really struggle with clear and confident marketing, right? So it's kind of dialing it back, coming back to your purpose, your passion, what the product is. And then I think, who have I loved helping, and who have I loved serving that have bought my product, that have gotten like extreme value from? They're my biggest fans, right? And they're usually a woman. They're usually between the ages of 47 and 55, right? Like I've got this woman in my head. Her name's Jay. She's actually a client, and when I put anything out into the world for Jay, let's just say, you can name her Jay. You name your girl or man or whomever. A name. Whenever I put anything out into the world, I think, would Jay like this? Would Jay find value in this? would Jay get a kick out of this? And then I know I'm on track with what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And it's hard to remember, but I would just take a note and I would put it up on your thing, whether it's Jane or, whatever that person is for you. Just think before you post anything, would this person find value in that? And if you say yes, then do it. And don't second guess yourself. Yeah.
I love that. It's that whole dialing back, getting really, really clear on that piece, and then holding that up as the question that you would ask before you go to a live event, before you post anything, whatever. Would Jane love this? I love it. And, speaking of clients who love us, I think this is one of the most underutilized, my words are failing me. It's one of the most underutilized treasures that we all have, is asking for testimonials from
yes.
people who love us.
Yes.
And there's this old programming, I think, that a lot of women have, is that it's rude to ask. Like, get over that and just go to the people who love you and have loved your service, loved your product, and ask them for a testimonial. People love to be asked. They really do. They love to help. So just ask, and then you've got content for months to come if you just ask for some testimonials from people who love you.
Yes, exactly. And also they're not usually keen necessarily to go on video, and that sometimes they are, and that's cool too. But yeah, I always, every time I'm done working with someone, if it's been a great experience for both of us, I love to say, hey, can you just shoot me a message back with how that was for you? And are you cool if I post that? And they're absolutely, yeah. So
that's excellent. So this all ties into marketing content. And so now we're coming into our last 5 minutes. So we want to open it up to any questions you might have. If you want to use the chat box, if you have any questions to elaborate on anything that we've said, or you just have a question in general, we just would love to help and love to be of service. So throw it at us. If we were just so brilliantly clear, that's fine. We can move on. Okay, yeah, because we have you all muted, so we can't hear you. That's why we would ask that you use the meeting chat, which is, if you wave your cursor around, you'll see a little button on the bottom panel that says chat. And if you click on that, you'll see the ability to comment in the chat box. And more details about the retreat. Well, let's see. It's going to be September 17th to 19th. Thank you for that question, Kathy. And it's going to be at Spirit Ridge Resort. And the investment is all inclusive. It literally includes absolutely everything, including your taxes. It's very reasonably priced for what we're offering, because we want to make it accessible to as many people as we can. Well, we do have a cap. We are not going to have a big crowd there. This is meant to be smaller and more intimate. So it includes your accommodation in a gorgeous deluxe suite. It includes foodie meals, like the 5-star chef at this resort is over the top amazing. And Ink Meat Winery just happens to be on the property. So yes, there will be wine tastings. Yay! And as I mentioned, we'll be doing yoga meditation to start each day with some real grounding. We'll be diving into hands-on training where we will we're not just talking at you, we are getting you involved in doing stuff, as Adera said. So, you want to get some video stuff going on, we're going to do some video. You need some photo shots and new headshots, we're going to get some headshots going on. We are going to get things done, and we're going to make them happen. So we're inviting people to bring, a computer, laptop, iPad, all those kinds of things, some change of clothes, some lipstick. Besides lipstick,